Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 3 of Node TV. I hope you all had a fantastic break. New Year and Christmas has just gone so damn quick, but yeah, we're really happy to come back. I just wanted to start off the first episode of the year with a bit of an update on where we are. I think as a company we've grown very quickly. We're now at about 6 people strong, which doesn't sound a great deal, but it's a sort of decent for a little sort of startup agency. We're tribunalized by Lloyds, which is very cool, and yeah, we're really in a very good position to kick off 17, and we look forward to meeting you, supporting you, or working with you some way through the year. And yeah, we're really excited. The episode today, I think we're going to probably cover off a couple of things. Mainly I want to look at some things around how we can help you, maybe some tips that we have in and around how you can have more success with selling your cyber insurance policies to your insureds, some things that you should maybe look out for, and just some general tips around pricing and maybe some things that you didn't already know. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so let's look at the tips that I've been thinking about. So the first tip that I want to talk about is something I touched on in one of my first videos, and it's to do with company profile and understanding the business activities of the insured that you're looking to sell the insurance to. It sounds stupid, but I think if you can profile the business in such a way that they resonate with what you're trying to sell them, that's got to be a big win. So if you maybe look at one of our first videos around profiling, I think maybe list out the business activities, and then this will allow you to look at what they do. So an example B would be, do they have email? Yes. Well, then you want to make sure that they've got sufficient insurances and insurance clauses around that risk. Do they use online banking? Then the same. You want to have the same approach. Make sure they've got the risk and the insuring clauses within the policy that you're trying to sell them that resonate there. I wouldn't let them go looking for it. I'd probably, if you can, try and spend some time with them highlighting exactly what that looks like and where it would fit within the insurance solution you're trying to put in front of them. So that would be my first tip. My tip number 2 is reviewing the policies that they already hold. Again, these may sound very straightforward, but I think what you should do, or what's really handy to do, is if you can lay out with the insured exactly what they've already got and what you're the solution that you could bring in for them. So when they might have a computer hardware cover that they've inherited that's been there for many years in their existing portfolio, and you just want to make sure that you're not double barreling covers within the new solutions you're bringing in. I think this is easier to do with forms that are modular based. So if the cyber solution you're bringing in is modular based, then you can certainly look to include or disclude where it is most relevant. But yeah, my tip number 2 is really simple. Look at their existing solution and see how a new digital risk solution can address certain risks that aren't already covered, and really just showing and marrying in the new offering that you're trying to bring to the table. My third tip is to explain to the insured just exactly where their responsibilities lie for the activities they do. What do I mean? So commonly when I was initially working with insureds, it was just before sort of cloud computing and other type services, sort of outsourcing services got really large, that they would feel that if ever they were to outsource any of their information, any of their data storage, even their internet hosting, that the liability was no longer on them. So it's really important that when you're talking or trying to sell solutions to the insured, that they realize for certain activities such as data storage or even down to PYE, that even though it's outsourced, it doesn't mean that the onus of notification and the responsibility is no longer theirs. So if there's an event, even if it is with a third-party vendor, that's out of your control, it's still down on you to handle and manage the risk in the correct fashion, even if it comes down to not only handling the initial event, but also dealing with the liabilities and other things that can spin off as a result of an event that you had nothing or had no control over. So it's certainly worth highlighting to the insured that just because they use third-party or outsourced vendors, that they're still liable and responsible, and the insurance policy should, if you look at small print, trigger and respond in the right way. Now on to my fourth tip. Don't buy on price alone. Too many people, I think, or not too many people, but there's so many options out there in the digital risk solution environment now that when you're getting a quote through, you're going to see a massive, or they're going to see a massive gap in pricing, and that's quite common. So I think what you really want to do is not look at price as an indicator. You want to look at, compare the policies, look at the policies, what they can do, look at the different coverage limits, look at the different sublimits, look at the different exclusions, and really dive down into the who sits behind the policy and how the policy would react in some sort of a claim. I think looking at the roadmap of the claim is so important. I think looking at the vendors that would come in if you have a problem, and also looking at how that happens, whether there's a phone number or how the response actually takes place, is going to be, for 17, is going to be massive for insurance companies. I think they really are not only going to become under comparison under price, which I'm telling you to avoid, I'm telling you to look at coverage, because it's a very broad landscape, and I think make sure that you're doing the best job you can for the insured and giving them the best solution. That you should really break down coverage and really look at the claim landscape and the vendors and the sort of journey that sits behind that should they run into a claim. And also, I would also say that now I think we're certainly, with some of the solutions we're bringing and some of the solutions that we're seeing, that there's a lot of value add coming into the policies. So there's things that you can get through having the insurance policy that can help the organisation that's actually insured, your client, educate and keep them abreast of the latest changes, security changes, and hacks and problems that are happening in the world. So yeah, I'd really say don't buy on price, buy on solution and quality, and really just sort of get under the skin of the policy. And my final tip is invest in you, invest in yourself, educate yourself. I think the strongest way that you can advise and support your insured is if you're going there not only with a cyber solution or a digital risk solution, but you're going there with an understanding that the solution that you're trying to sell to them is relevant in line with what they do. So if you can assist and help a client understand the frameworks and that they have to adhere to for the different types of information that you're storing, and how the insurance then can assist them should they run into a problem, then I think that will really help in securing you more deals and helping the insured really feel that the solution that you brought to the table is right for them. So educate yourself. Alright guys, thank you for watching. That completes my 5 cyber tips on how you can hopefully sell more, have more success selling cyber insurance to your clients. They may seem very low level sort of tips, but it's very difficult to judge sort of who you are or your knowledge. So if you want more detail, or if you want a higher level kind of understanding and we can be of any help, then please fill some comments out below, drop me up or hit me up in a direct email, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.